Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome back to the Math and Physics Podcast. I'm your host, Parker.
And I'm Ray, and we welcome you to episode 22, where today we have a guest. We have Mathew Cater. We've had him before. So, Matt, care to say a few words?
Hey guys, it's good to be back. I was the first two-parter for you guys, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's really cool to be back. Love doing this stuff, and yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so today is going to be less of like a structured podcast. Usually we kind of come up with topics beforehand and then we go through them. Today we're just going to talk with Matt, have a nice conversation about, like last time, kind of everything math and physics.
It's basically going to be just dudes being dudes part 2.
I love that.
Yeah.
Guys being dudes.
Let's go.
All right, awesome. So before actually starting the recording, we were talking about math and physics education in high school. Matt, do you want to kind of sum up what you were saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll just pose like the general premise of what I was talking about and then like some questions and we can just kind of brainstorm about it. But what I was talking about and what I've noticed, because I do a lot of tutoring. I don't know if you guys do any tutoring, but I have like quite a handful of clients. It's weird to call them that. They're like my kids. It's funny. And they range from like grades 9 through to 11. And so I usually tutor them in math. And then sometimes, you know how high school math problems, they're almost physics questions too, if that makes any sense. Like, they'll be about throwing a ball. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of whatever. So point is, I do a lot of teaching and I love it. It's like really, really fun for me. And in those moments, we're always having a blast, me and the kid. You know what I mean? And sometimes they'll come to me with some understanding they've built up from class or from their textbook or just whatever like main source of info they're having. And it's like just the most bland thing I've ever heard. And that's why they always have this lack of excitement kind of going in. Do you know what I mean? Or when we talk about the problems or even like the mathematical objects that they're working with, whether that be like a trig function, let's say, okay?
Yeah.
They don't really unpack like what it really is. So there's nothing to be fascinated about. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like so much of, and kind of what I'm posing is what I've noticed is so much of math and physics education is like so stigmatized. Like everyone goes, it's almost fun and cool to say, oh, I was never good at math.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue.
Yeah, it's like the most fun thing to say, like when you're, oh, I'm not a numbers guy. You know what I mean? And it's like that's like saying you're not into like astrophysics. It's like who's not fascinated by stars blowing up? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to like break down, because whenever I work with these kids, I always have to like start them from ground up and be like, no, what you're doing is actually like some of the most interesting stuff you can do. It's not like bio and stuff, where you can see leaves and whatnot, but it's pretty in its own respect. I just think it's poorly laid out because it's not as accessible. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily see it, touch it.
I guess like a counterpoint to that could be like, because people are in high school and, they're pretty young, they don't want to go too intense. And especially with some math teachers, when they can go really intense into certain subjects or certain functions. And especially if they want to try and explain, let's say sine, as you were giving that example.
Sure.
Let's say they want to explain sine to like a full varying depth, explain the graph, explain everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might be too much for a grade 11 to handle. That might be the counterpoint to what you were suggesting. So I guess I can kind of see why like they don't go too in depth with it in high school, but I definitely think they can make it more fun. I guess where I can see what you're saying with that. That makes sense.
Yeah, like there's good videos even on YouTube you can watch of just like high school math, and it's actually like it's a lot better than the course teaching method that you would get in high school. And I remember one time, this was grade 10 or grade 9, we were doing optics in science class, and then the teacher was like, okay, so this is the formula for finding like diffraction or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was like a sine theta in there, but at that time I didn't know what that was, and she told the whole class, she's like, yeah, don't worry about what that means, just plug it in and use it. And that was so terrible that like to me it was just letters that I was putting in my calculator. It didn't actually mean anything to me. which sucks because it would have been way better if I could have made the connection to what it actually meant, you know?
I
Yeah,
still remember one time, the terrible thing when I either it was a diffraction formula or it was some formula. I don't know, but it had sine squared theta in it. And I didn't know. I think this was like grade 10 or grade 11 where our teacher just gave us a formula and I didn't know too much about trig. And we saw a sine squared and I had no idea what to do in my calculator. So legitimately, I put sine and then I did squared and my
nice,
calculator just said math like
nice.
that's an incorrect syntax, but I
Yeah,
didn't understand what I was doing wrong, so I
yeah.
never figured it out until like the teacher just said, yeah, you got to do sine and then you got to square it. So see, something as simple as that, if
Mhm.
she had like told a class, and I
Right.
think a lot of people were on my standard, they're like, what the hell is squared, like how do you square it
Yes.
in like grade 10? So
Yeah, yeah. Because also like the trig functions is that weird exception where they like to put it. They don't put
yeah,
the brackets. But
they
what?
put it after the n, right? So like that makes it so much more confusing.
Yeah, I had a TA actually. It was funny. One time I had a TA who like ranted about that to me for like solid 3 minutes. We were, like, this is when I was in Calc 2. I was in like the second half of 1 through 7. And then he was just like, man, I hate that. Why did it just put the whole thing in
Yeah, just
brackets?
put brackets. It's so
I'm
much
like,
easier.
I'm like super impartial, but at the same time, I totally understand his argument. But yeah, so it's these things that you guys just brought up. It's that I feel like what they do is they have this stigma about like really rigorous logic. Do you know what I mean? Where
Mhm.
they just go, "Oh, this is inaccessible to kids," and I'm like, "Well, clearly not when you have kids start it early." You know what I mean? We've all met those kids who've just been doing calculus since like grade 9 or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's not crazy to them. And then I'm sure you guys have even felt over this last year how much your ability to like basically problem solve has grown. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Brain.
100%.
It doesn't even do, you know what I mean? So I think what they try to do is what Ray's counterpoint brought up, which was like, oh, maybe this is too much. And I'm like, okay, you don't
Mhm.
have to make it real hard, but you have to present it nicer. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah.
You can talk about biochemistry without doing organic chemistry in like
Yeah.
rigorous detail,
Mhm.
but you can still show like what it talks about. You know what I mean? Like what it describes. Same thing with the math.
Like you can have the fun without it being hard is basically what
Yeah,
you're
like
saying.
I even think
Yeah.
some of the problems are boring as hell. Like I'll do some of
Yeah.
Mhm.
like the long word problems.
Oh, they're so boring. It's like you just don't care about them. Like why would I need to know like how much glass I need to buy for this shed? Like I would
Exactly.
never need to build a shed.
Everyone makes fun of those problems too. They're like, oh, like the guy with 72 watermelons, like those memes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, when I'm doing these things with them, like with their homework problems, a lot of the time I just go, you know what? I see what they're trying to get at here. Let's just scratch this. Let me just give you a problem that's more theoretical, more just like, not necessarily like they're forcing an application when it's
Yeah.
uninteresting. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm.
so sometimes I just scratch them and I'm like, no, let's just do this. And they're like, oh, this is way cooler. Like, like this, because what we need to build is interest and intrigue, because
Mhm.
it's one of like what we do. I feel like I have a lot of friends who are artists. I make a lot of music myself. And they're almost all of them are kind of the guy who's like, I'm not a numbers guy, right? And
Mhm.
Mhm.
seeing higher level maths and being around someone myself who's like kind of in that world, they're now starting to see something I've been trying to tell people for a long time. It's one of the most inherently creative things you can do. Problem
Yeah,
solve.
I agree.
Like all of these ideas that we rack our minds about are deeply creative. People go, "Oh, creativity's on this side, like I'm a creative or I'm an artist," and then like math guys are on the complete other end of the spectrum.
Mhm.
They're all
Mhm.
like nerd, and then creative versus whatever. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? See, that's
Yeah.
the, that's the, that's the stigma that I feel is like in people's minds that we need to break down.
Yeah, the mathematicians aren't creative. Yeah, I completely understand that.
They're the most creative people I've
I
like. We're
know. I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
Yeah, I think this is a quote from Albert Einstein. He's like, to be good at math, you need to be smart. To be great, you need to be creative.
there you
Mhm.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like some of the stuff that I've been thinking about a lot and how the way it's presented and then why that deters so many people and how much
Mhm.
more they could potentially have loved it You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And also now science has become this kind of like this minority almost, as you were saying, where
Mm.
because so many people are deterred from it in high school that only the select few want to actually do it in their careers, because those select few actually understand that it's not as terrible as everyone is saying. It's just learn it, understand it, take a little interest in it, and then you'll
Mhm.
understand,
Mhm.
why we love it so much. Like
Yes.
people think it's this foreign subject that's crazy hard. And and the worst is, and I think we discussed this before. I definitely think we have discussed this before, where like you tell your grandparents' friends or your mom's friends, "Hey, I'm in physics." They're like, "Oh, you must be such a genius," and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Like, nah, we're just regular dudes.
I'm just
Like,
I'm just interested in physics. That's
Mhm.
all. That's all
Exactly.
I am.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, even my one good friend who I've known forever, who's been friends with me throughout my university so far, and then we were just talking about my summer course. He's like, "Oh, you're doing a summer course." Told him about it, and he was like, he was surprised to know that I didn't work with numbers. He was like, "What do you mean? How do you do math without number? Like, what do you mean?"
what?
This is what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Because they only have this one like little. I'm sure there's probably listeners right now. Maybe I don't know who. I don't know the demographic. Who are probably like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?"
Mhm.
Do
There
you
are
know what
some
I
middle
mean?
Yeah.
schoolers, yeah, because at this point, especially in like university math is basically a lot to do with variables. I don't think we've seen a number in the year.
Well, I don't even mean.
Like
I mean outside of even variables. I just mean objects. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, like objects, variables, functions, stuff like that, mathematical operations, but they're not many
yeah,
numbers, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So that was even a moment I was like, dude, like, what do you mean? I only work with numbers if I have like
Like, numbers are more for engineers, when they actually have to apply it to something. But when you're just doing math itself, it's less about actually computing things and more about finding out how the computations
hmm
work.
Numbers actually are used more in computer science with number theory, interestingly
yeah,
enough. Like
yeah,
I see all computer science people talking about numbers day in, day out with their CSE 148 at U of T. So
yeah.
like I see a lot of that with computer science people. I don't see that much with math and physics people, interestingly enough.
Mhm. And
So I don't
even
get where people get this conception that math is only numbers.
One
yeah,
thing I wanted to talk about, or when you said initially when your friend was like, "Oh, what do you mean you don't use numbers?"
yeah.
It's kind of like after you learn like basic operations, like what do people think math becomes beyond that? Like after you stop high school. Like what do you think math is in at like a doctoral level? Like is it just more numbers? Like I
Mhm.
don't think that makes any sense.
I don't think they think about it. That's the thing. I really
Mhm.
don't think that anyone gives it.
A
It's so
second thought.
shaded. It's like
Mhm.
no one really knows what's going on behind the curtain when you say like, "Oh, I'm a math prof." They just go like, "Okay, I wonder what the hell he does." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so many, even physics, for example, where let's say you won't see a number, but there'll be variables that represent numbers. I'm talking about even outside of that. I'm talking about like topology or something, where it's just all like sets and stuff
Mhm.
like that, where you're not even referencing quantities at all. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that is something that people have absolutely no exposure to at all.
Yeah, but that can also be on again the opposite spectrum pretty hard for grade 11s, understanding, you know, sets that describe topology and stuff like that. Like I don't think they want to be exposed to that at that grade.
The thing is, the math gets quote unquote sexier as you go up.
Hmm
I mean,
I understand that. I understand that.
it's kind of like prettier. It's more of a dance.
Hmm
In high school, you're literally like punching your calculator on a literal level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
literally.
the basic ideas of topology, like I'm sure you could ingratiate into high school. Like I'm so serious. Do you know, like just the idea of like a basis or even vectors, for example. Like
Yeah.
you guys
hmm
watch the Three Blue One Brown Essence of Linear Algebra playlist.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That you could absolutely give to grade 11s. They just need to know how an XY axis works. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they don't like why make them do car insurance problems?
Yeah.
They'd be beyond fascinated if you showed them those animations of vectors spanning specific spaces and like determinants, you know what I mean, and areas
Hmm.
and all his fantastic animations with like the transformations playing out and how it goes, you know what I mean? Where like he twists the screen to like represent
Yeah.
like
His
that.
animations are so crazy.
And then even calculus too, like the way he moves the tangent lines around.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does the area under the graph stuff, and I'm like, this would intrigue people. I want that
Hmm.
to be mainstream math and physics education.
Mhm. You know what? I definitely understand that because in my on the last day of my linear algebra course at U of T,
Mm.
the prof was awesome. So he was like, "Hey, let me show you guys something really cool." So he basically showed us how to solve integrals using matrices. And
Fantastic.
and remember, this is me in year one, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, wow,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Like, okay, I completely understand where you come from when you say if you show people that just don't know it some really fascinating stuff, they may get really intrigued by it. Because I was just super interested. I was just so confused as well with
exactly.
how that happens, but very interested as
Wait,
well.
I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. He showed us, but he's like, if you continue in like 244 and like further linear algebra classes, like basically all of this is covered. Like it's solving an integral with a matrix. Like I don't even understand how that works. Matthew probably does, but
I mean, like, I'm not going to go into it, but I think I know what he's referencing. I mean, like, the integral itself is a linear transformation.
yeah, that's basic. Yeah, that's how he started it off,
Yeah.
talking about basically, yeah.
And so, like, a lot of stuff in calculus, like, once you guys take multivariable calculus, you realize how much linear algebra and calculus, like, do, like, work together to describe that type of stuff. So,
Hmm.
yeah, like, there could be a way in which you could, I don't even want to try and, like, do that in my head right now or something like that. But
Yeah. But yeah, talking about multivariable calculus, since last time
mm,
I started taking notes on 237 and I enrolled in 237 for this coming semester.
glad to hear it. Did you look at the notes that I sent you? Were they those ones?
Yeah, like the online
Yeah.
notes by Jean-Baptiste.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
They're actually awesome notes, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're incredible. He has like these. He has like PDF-y sort of ones, but then they're all handwritten ones as well. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so what did you get started on? The like topology of RN?
Well, I just started from the beginning, so I did like the topology intro, and then
Mm,
I got into right now I'm at differentiation,
cool.
but I think there was like a part before that. I just forget. It was like I did it like a month ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm glad. So you're so enjoying it though?
Yeah, I mean it's super cool how everything gets generalized and it kind of opens up my mind a lot because like I knew about multivariable calculus a little bit, but actually doing it in a course kind of opens your mind a lot.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I was watching this video. It was kind of like a joke video on YouTube about topology. And this guy's like, okay, this is what your topology class is gonna look like.
I
So
saw
it's like
that.
the first lesson is like, so this is a coffee cup and it's the same thing as a donut. And then
So fun.
here's a knot and whatever. And then it's like, okay, the next slide is like, all right, you're never ever gonna see those images again. And then he starts talking about like the inside of a set, the closure of a set, all this, and he presents like all these theorems, and it's
Yeah,
so funny the way it was put together.
it was like a six. Wasn't it like 5 minutes exactly or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I saw that. That was honestly pretty funny. And having
Yeah,
having taken topology is like pretty funny. You know what I mean? Like having learned a decent amount of stuff. Also, to be very clear, I feel like this is missing. The coffee cup is not literally a donut. Whenever people
no,
hear that, no.
it's just the same topologically as a
Mhm.
donut.
Yeah, it means there's a nice you can quote unquote continuously transform it into like the coffee cup to the donut, and
Oh
that.
wait, I think I've seen this video. I think I know what you're talking about. Oh wait, oh yeah, I think I've definitely seen this where the coffee cup transforms into yeah. The moment you said transforms, I don't know why I just clicked and I'm like, wait, I think I've seen this before.
Where I saw this one video about like you probably know about this, Matt. Like a cylinder, you can describe it as like a square with like the edges have like arrows on them, right?
Oh, yeah, I think I know.
Like it tells you where to connect the two sides together, and
Oh
like
yeah,
if you flip them, yeah,
equivalence.
and then you could describe a torus by like having a cylinder and then connecting the two ends together.
Yeah, so that's how you go from. So if you take a little square, like a 1 by 1 square,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and then you can define the equivalence relation that takes the top side of the square and the bottom side of the square and quote unquote glues them together.
Yeah, yeah,
and then you can define the equivalence relation that takes the left side and the right side and glues those together. So if you picture that,
yeah.
what happens is you take the top and bottom, you put it together, and you get a cylindrical tube.
Hmm.
And then now, if you glue the left side and the right side together, the left side and the right side are both circles on either end of this tube now. So when you glue them together, you wrap it around and you get a
Yeah.
torus. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and one thing, like this was a video that Matt Starr made. I don't know if you know him. He's a YouTuber. He makes really, really good videos though. But he made a video about that. Um, and then
Oh,
he describes how if you take if you take the set of a circle and the set of a line and you do the what's it called, like the cross product between those sets, then you can get different shapes.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to I don't know how to explain it correctly, but it's really a really intriguing video. I'll find the name of it if anyone wants to go watch it.
Yeah, that stuff's gonna be really like honestly, it's good that you're doing that because the visualization is probably like the greatest tool to understand like multivariable calculus. At least for me, like being able to like get pictures of stuff when normally you can't because it's really high dimension. It's really good
Hmm.
skill for sure.
Yeah, also
Yeah,
he describes like how to visualize a Klein bottle. That's really interesting.
yeah. Those are. Oh my god, you're giving me like nightmares from like a month ago. Well,
Wait, how did you like your course?
I mean, I liked it for a bit. Like me, so me and my friend Jonah were doing it, and we did it for maybe a month or two, 2.5, right?
Yeah.
It was a full session. And then the quality of the online format was seriously slipping off.
Oh,
Like
really?
to TAs and stuff was basically none. We were kind of just going off the textbook, and that was like okay-ish. And then we wrote the midterm, and we were like, "Oh, that was fucking rough." And then we were like, "Okay, how do we want to do this?" Because we knew a prof that we both really like is teaching it in the fall.
Hmm.
We were like, "Okay, do we finish this and then credit no credit, or like what do we? Do you know what I mean?" Because we didn't want to, because it
Yeah, that's kind of a hard decision to make.
Sorry, and which course is this?
327
Oh,
MNT.
and which is that?
Topology.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so we were like, okay, well, we're gonna take it regardless because we need it to be able to take 357 in the winter, which is the continuation of 257 MAT, right? And so we're like, okay, well, we need to do this at some point. So he's like, honestly, why don't we just do it in the fall? And I was like, okay. So we basically finished the whole course and then decided to drop it and just do it in the fall.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a breeze, but
Yeah, because you already know everything.
yeah, but we didn't want to risk our GPAs, which were
Yeah,
very
that's
good
true.
previously. So
And
that
in the fall, are you going to be doing it online or are you going to be doing it in person?
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I'm in an in-person section. A lot of my actually, believe it or not, like a decent amount of my fall courses still have in-person offerings, which is
Oh,
pretty.
that's nice.
Yeah, I also know like a handful of TAs slash postdocs that are like sort of quote unquote friends of mine. They're just nice enough to like help me whenever I want it. Do you know what I mean? So I know I can go to their office and stuff. You know,
Okay,
the
that's
fact
really
that
nice.
you go get in-person assistance.
Yeah, one thing that sucks is that I'm taking only online classes and I'm staying in Ottawa.
Oh wow,
So,
shit.
yeah. So that's just how my second year is gonna go.
At least it's not third.
Yeah, true. But one thing that I'm not too worried about is that most of my classes after the first round of like when they announced which classes are going to be online or in person, since then most of them have all switched to just online. So even if I would have gone for in person, I would have been
Oh,
staying home and doing everything online anyways.
oh okay. I see what you.
But yeah, not to interrupt everything, but I did find the video and I made a mistake. It's not Matt Star, it's Zach Star.
Oh, I was wondering because I was
Yeah.
searching up Matt Star on YouTube and he's a drummer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that makes no sense. Who is this guy?
It's Zach Star, and the video's called "These Changed How I Think About Higher Dimensions," and then the thumbnail is like three squares, and it's a really interesting video and actually very easy to follow as well.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, this guy. Oh,
Yeah,
I've seen his video before. I've seen some of his videos before.
yeah,
What's
Oh,
your
okay. Okay, this makes a lot more sense than Matt Star, the drummer. Okay.
yeah.
Makes so much more sense. Oh my God.
What's the video called?
It's called "These Changed How I Think About Higher Dimensions."
Oh, this guy. Okay, I know this guy. He used to be called Major Prep.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's why I know. Like it even says in his little bio right here, this channel used to be called Major Prep.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
yo, he also has a video where this completely changed the way I see numbers. That might be pretty cool.
Hmm.
That might be really cool.
Yeah, so for anyone listening, the channel name is Zach Star. Highly recommended.
Yeah, ZACH space STAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honest. I love that YouTube wormhole math stuff. You guys watch Andrew Dotson?
Sorry?
Sorry?
Andrew Dotson?
Yeah, I watch him.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, I watch his videos like pretty much every day. They come up on my recommended like all
Oh,
the time.
there you go.
Oh wait, Andrew Dotson is the guy that makes the funny videos about math teachers and physics
Yeah.
students and stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, this guy is so funny. This guy is so funny. His physics professors be like has like 2.6 million views.
Hmm.
So funny. Yeah, he's doing. I think he's doing his master's right now in physics, I believe.
No, he's doing his
No, a
PhD.
PhD, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, well, I think right now he's doing his like entrance exam for his PhD,
Oh, okay.
or it's one of his exams. But yeah, one thing that I started doing, well, not really started, but I downloaded LaTeX.
Oh,
I'm gonna
good.
try to learn how to code, quote unquote, code in LaTeX
LaTeX is dope.
You call it. I think it's called script. You know what I mean?
script. Yeah,
Basic coding. Yeah, like it's not programming, but it's like
no,
script.
Yeah, it's basically just English in a little different way.
yeah,
That's why it's not really pro yet.
Yeah.
yeah. Technically, yeah, I would say scripting.
Yeah.
That was just my mistake because it's like Word. You type it up, and then whenever you want to put like a math symbol, there's like a
Mhm.
little abbreviation that you use,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
pulls up
Yeah.
like a nice math symbol.
Yeah, but also with LaTeX, you also have like a million more customizations
Yeah,
than Word
yeah, that's
when
right.
it comes to science documents and stuff, of course.
Yeah,
I think basically all dissertations are on LaTeX, are they not? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
are
Like
they? I'm
all
pretty
like
sure.
I think all like professional
Yeah,
like official articles and whatever are all
all on
in
LaTeX.
LaTeX
That makes sense.
because it's kind of hard to do in Word, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I wrote like a couple lab reports for you guys taking 224 next year, PHY, practical physics one.
I'm taking it third year.
I'm gonna be taking it in the fall.
Oh, okay.
I've been told it's hard. No?
Dude, good luck, man.
Oh
Because
no.
like to be honest, that course was like I wouldn't say how do I word this?
Oh, by the way, for anyone listening, it's practical physics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's physics
it's a lab.
yeah 224.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
Matt, you were saying, yeah.
yeah, I don't know how I would have like literally. So the whole thing is essentially like coding a fuck ton.
Oh, that's actually fun. I like coding.
Fun, but it's like the level of coding they expect from you with no coding prerequisite is ridiculous. But the reason why they expect that is because there's like 100 TAs in the room, and they just come around and basically do it for you.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so much better.
Well, they give you these lab manuals, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, do this," and they kind of like hold your hand through writing this program.
Okay, okay.
There's almost every single time I'd write a program, I'd have to have like someone, like one of the physics TAs, come over and like fix it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah. No, but I actually really enjoy coding, but yeah, I mean, if you say it's so hard, then yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be helpful. But also 224 is only offered in person, so that's also good.
oh wait, you're in person?
Yeah, no, so actually, so I live in Richmond Hill, right, which is like 45 minutes driving away from U of T.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, all my classes are online except for 224.
Oh, you're
So
fine. Never
224, which is on
mind.
Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to be going to U of T, and I'm going to be staying at my friend's place right after. So, because like they live near the area,
Mm.
and then I'm going to be heading back up. So Tuesday, Thursday are basically safe for my in-person classes.
Okay,
I
dude,
have my
you're.
224.
I thought you were doing it online.
No, 224 you can't actually do online. There's no version of it online.
That should not exist. Is what I'm trying to say. Like that would be horrible. Also, I don't think it'd be literally possible to do the experiments.
Oh, yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm
That's
saying?
exactly why I'm saying you can't do it online. Yeah, you would have to be in person to do this. Yeah, that's exactly why I had no other choice but to, you know, have the option to commute to U of T because I'm not gonna live in residence for 2 days a week, right?
And yeah, thank God I don't have to take it this year because then I would have to
Oh, that would have
literally
been
go to
bad.
Toronto for 1 day a week.
No, 2 days a week. 2 days a week.
It's 2 days a week?
Yeah, it's 2 days a week.
Okay, well, still.
It's 2 3 hour 3 hour sessions a week.
Yeah, yeah, 2 3 hour
Oh,
sections.
All
Yeah,
the
that's
extra
a strike.
yeah.
you
No,
go
but I mean, if you think about it, especially with like my scenario or this current scenario with everything online, I literally planned it so that Tuesday, Thursday, I have nothing but those classes. So I have all day to go at U of T and come back, basically.
good.
So I've kind of planned
Good.
it out in a decent way. Wait, Matt, do you live close to the campus?
Oh yeah, I'm like Ossington. I'm like just
I
north.
think I have. Yeah, I think we've asked you this before.
Yeah, no, it's great. I can like bike and stuff. And
Oh, okay, okay. So that's why you're taking all these in-person classes.
yeah,
Makes
also,
sense.
second year is going to be the worst for you schedule wise. So
Sorry,
like,
sorry.
I'm saying second year is as bad as it gets schedule wise. Like my schedule this year is like fucking great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my second year schedule is pretty it's pretty interesting because this year actually I'm trying to take a stats major that I didn't want to take in my first year. So I have to make up a lot of courses this year. So I have quite a lot of extra work to do.
Mm.
So so let's see how that goes out for me.
Are you doing like? So you're saying this year's schedule is kind of shitty?
Yeah, because so instead of a physics specialist, now I'm doing a physics major, stats major, and astronomy minor.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So because I was always gonna go into physics anyways, but then I was like reading on some stats stuff, and stats is really interesting. I think it's really important in like daily life, and like why not? You know, I'm pretty interested in statistics, so I'm like, let me take that as well. So here we are.
For sure.
Pretty excited. Pretty excited.
But yeah, no, second year like schedule wise is like trash all the time. It's just gonna be just letting you guys know it's gonna be a long, rough year.
Nice.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for prepping.
Wait,
feels
sorry,
like-
you're gonna have to repeat that.
I said it's gonna be a long, rough year, but you're gonna feel like 20 times smarter after it.
Oh. Okay.
Almost going into third year, you're like quite specialized in what you actually feel like you're good at, and
Mhm.
you're honestly really good at solving problems at that point.
Mhm.
So everything you're doing is more kind of like the shit is hard. Like the material's harder, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It just feels like you know how much you're going to need to study for it, but you know you'll never hit a point where you're like, I don't get this at all. Like I can't understand it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I feel like always happened in first and second year. Where-
Yeah.
Oh, in first year that happens so much. Oh my gosh.
But now it's more like you're more settled. Also, your time management game is way better in third year.
Mhm.
Like I was still figuring it out in second year. You probably will be too. Second year for you guys, I predict is just gonna look like ridiculously long nights, and like that's what it was for me too. Like
Oh
you're
my.
like you think the best time management is just like overgrind because just like I have so much shit to do. I just have to keep like, and that's good, you know.
I guess it's good that you have so much stuff to do, so you're always doing something.
Yeah,
right?
toughen you up to like not sleep, like
Mhm.
not literally.
Because if you don't have stuff to do, I think you get nervous. Like, oh my gosh, am I doing a little too less?
Oh
You
yeah,
know. So it's
Yeah.
it's really good when you have a lot of stuff to do. I think.
Ray, the word is not enough, not too
Not-
less.
Not enough. Sorry, not enough. Is the word I'm looking for.
so that way when you go into third year, like the schedule's more chill, but the courses are more intense. If that makes sense, not in like demanding time from you, but just like the material is like more rock solid. If that makes sense. So you're just kind of more dialed in. You're just the management's there. You know what it looks like to work like nothing first 3 months of first year, and then you know what it looks like to work yourself to the bone December of second year.
Mhm.
And so now you kind of hit this more or less sweet spot where you know exactly how much you need to study for each thing. You know what type of you know how to get help too. You know what I mean? You know what type of questions help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely understand. Yeah. Because
You'll
when you're
realize
older, when you're past first, second year, you already just understand more. Makes sense. Also, just making sure I should know this, but I forgot. Are you going into third or fourth year?
going into third. Going into
You're
third.
going into third. You're going into third. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
that's why you were taking the 3 5, and you took 237 or 257.
3-7, 2-3-7.
3-7. Okay. So then, why are you taking the 257 variant in third year? Isn't that what you said that you're taking 357 or something or 3-5 something?
Yeah, 57. Yeah. So that's foundations of real analysis.
So you're taking the 257 variant in
Yeah.
third year, basically.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
257 is the follow up to 157. I didn't know there was a follow up to 257 also.
And then there's 2 more follow-ups after that.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
Wait, is it a follow up or is it just like a similar variant? Like it's just that level of difficulty, or is it an actual follow up of 257?
What it is, they're all analysis courses. That's what it is.
Okay.
They're all
Okay.
in the same world. If that
Mhm.
makes like 257, technically you don't use a lot of your. Okay, I don't want to say that loosely. For 157 is just like extra theoretical 137 in a lot of ways. It has its own stuff, which is like definitely its own thing,
Mhm.
but it's calculus still, quote unquote. And then 257 is multivariable calculus. Like you learn everything you do in 237. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you don't do applications in 257 really at all. Like you won't
Oh.
actually.
So it's basically only analyzing what's going on, not really applying what's going on to
Yeah,
anything.
237, you'll see a decent amount of numbers towards the end of the course. You know,
Mm.
you will compute some shit. And when I say numbers, I mean like pretty ones, like 4 pi over 3, not like decimals or something. You
Yeah.
know,
That's nice.
yeah, that'd be more like I'd probably 235 from what I've seen from some of my friends and stuff. But yeah, but no, the reason I wanted to take 357 is because I know I want to go to grad school for math. So I was like, okay, I want to round out. I want to do some specialist stuff in the things that I know are core math subjects, you know? So I didn't
Hmm.
challenge myself with specialist stuff for like just out of interest, if that makes sense. Like just random, like a more less fundamental subsection of math. So I said, okay, if I'm doing specialist stuff, it's going to be in the main stuff, like group theory, analysis, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Linear
Mhm.
algebra. So I mean, I already took 224 and 223, like linear algebra 1 and 2. But
Mhm.
next year I'm taking 247 as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which is you guys know what 247 is.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. I actually don't. I have no idea. I just said, "Oh," because I'm like, it might be hard.
It's the special. So non-specialist is 223, 224. Specialist is 240, 247.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm technically doing linear algebra 2,
Again.
but it's so different. It's not even
But
like the courses diverge so much. Like you learn completely different stuff in 247. Like you
mm,
do inner product spaces and like you know what like just a whole bunch of it's far more theoretical, and the reason I want to take it is so that I can take group strings and fields the year afterwards, hopefully,
mhm.
which is another specialist course, and also want to take mathematical probability, which also needs it. So yeah, there's it's kind of like a transition into some specialist stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
and also, like I feel
Mhm.
really confident with my mathematical ability right now as well. Like 237 built a
That's
lot
really
of
hype.
confidence
Mhm.
from really grinding in it and having a really good teacher and whatnot. And so yeah, like I also topology is technically specialist as well. So I'm doing 3 math spec courses next year after just doing a physics spec for the first 2 years.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping 237 gives me the same confidence because I don't know, right now, like I enjoy calculus, but I think I need a deeper understanding, and I hope that's what 237 is going to give me.
Yeah, you got to look for it.
Yeah. I'm going to work as hard as I can, obviously.
Yeah, like you got to really if you like you'll get as much you get what you yeah you get what you put in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Who's your teacher for it? Who's the instructor?
I don't think they announced it, to be honest. I think
Really?
it's just TBD.
Really?
I'll
Damn.
go check right now, but I don't think they said.
Which one are you doing, right?
I'm doing 235 because I have to make up too much stuff from my first year that
Yeah.
I just don't want the hassle of 237 because I got to do CSC 148, the stats course, and maybe the stats course second year, the second one too. If depends on if I finish it quickly in the summer.
I'm also doing
So,
148 in the winter, believe it or not.
oh, what? That's crazy. Wait, which one?
Which section?
Yeah, yeah, like which section?
I'd have to check. I can get back to you though.
Yeah, actually, dude, just message me on Instagram
Yeah, I
depending
will.
on which one. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I'm in the winter one as well, so pretty excited.
Yeah, for my specialist, I have to do 108, but then I'm also already for the next 2 years. I'm just going to do 4 courses a semester, so I
Hmm.
can do like research and stuff. And also, I've noticed it just gets my grades way better.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, I have
Mhm.
the luxury to not be like an international student and get like destroyed on fees. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
hmm
Because I have the option of 108 or 148 too. But
Uh,
like I just thought 148 would be just more informative because 108 doesn't sound too fun. Sounds pretty boring.
I have to do 108 first because I didn't do CS in high school.
Oh, okay, okay.
What,
Yeah.
what I was saying with that is I'm probably going to do a CS minor in a 5th year. That's
Oh,
something like really
that's
consider.
dope. That's cool. That's cool. I think CS is really useful. CS is cool.
Also, that's doable, right? Because isn't a minor just like 4 courses?
Yeah, it's literally like barely anything. I'm already doing an extra semester because I'm doing 4 courses a semester for the next 2 years. So
Hmm.
that
Okay.
adds one more 4 course semester. So at that point, there's no point in like what's it called? First of all, you don't get and almost nearly as much like OSAP grants and stuff like that if you only do the half year.
Hmm.
So
That's true. Yeah.
I would want to just fill up that second semester as well because it doesn't make sense to just stop in December and then like what hope I'm working at that point or like do you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
like, doing a CS minor
That's cool. That's cool.
considering. So yeah, I mean we might be in the same. I mean
Yeah,
we are.
that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Let me know, or I'll just find out right after, and I'll just send you.
Yeah, I mean, we technically are in the same like thing, just not the same. Maybe
True,
not.
true. That's true. Maybe not even in the same class, but same section. That's true.
Yeah, my friend Jonah's also in it too.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, that's dope. I'm
yeah,
pretty
no,
excited now. I'm a lot more excited about this course now.
no, it's
Okay,
very fun.
thank you.
All right,
Oh,
boys. We're actually pulling up to 43
yeah.
minutes in the podcast.
We're just talking at this point. We're just doing whatever.
Yeah, that's right. But we can cut the episode off right here. Once again, time flies when
Yeah,
we have you on, Matt. It's
I know.
always
Yeah.
a
Oh
pleasure.
my. Like we don't even realize sometimes.
It's so
It's
fun.
been 43 minutes. That's crazy.
I don't know how long do you guys normally do? Like 30,
Yeah, it's usually
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Usually 30, 35.
and you're like keeping note of the time, like while you're doing it, like trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's so funny. I can't.
yeah,
It's so hard for me to predict because like the episodes we've done, it's just like, do you know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't even
I
imagine.
guess right now, because it's still a relatively new podcast, there's no set time, but
Hmm.
like somewhere around 30. Like, I guess this is not too bad because it's another Dudes Being Dudes podcast.
Yeah.
So we can extend it a little longer. That's okay.
Hmm.
But I think it should be fine. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, I love doing this. It's a blast.
Yeah, well, we always enjoy having you on. So, once again, of course, we'll have you on another time because, what else are we doing?
Do you guys want to do like an in-person and video format at some point?
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
yes, yes. 100% yes. So the moment U of T opens up, when school's pretty light, maybe Parker can come down a weekend and we can do a full video thing. I am so ready for that.
Parker, are you gonna
I
be in?
really want to do a video podcast. I think that would be really cool.
Oh, 100%. Parker, are you gonna be in and out of the city?
Um, Not
Maybe.
really. I was planning on coming like once or twice per semester just to go and visit, but I'm mostly just gonna be staying at home and working.
Is it just fall where you have the online stuff, and then winter you have some in-person things, or
Oh
no?
no, it's
Whole
whole
year,
year.
whole year.
Oh, true. I have
Mm.
quite a bit of almost everything for me winter's in person. I also think
Mm.
that a lot of things that say online right now for the winter will be changed to
Oh.
in person. I have a feeling because
Mhm.
Mm,
things are pretty damn good in Toronto. So you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
we'll
yeah.
just have to wait and see.
We'll just exactly that's actually the best answer that anyone could give. Just wait and see. Let's just
But
see what it's like.
you come down, we can get some mics or whatever.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure. 100%. 100%.
true.
Okay, so now we're kind of nearing 46, dangerous territory. So I guess we can finally cut it off here.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, this has been episode 22.
Two. Yep.
Mhm.
All right, episode
Right?
22. So yeah, I'm
22, right?
your
Yeah,
yeah,
22.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm your host, Parker.
And I am Ray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
See ya.